Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing great. We heartily welcome you all to our YouTube channel cadcaemaster. If you enjoy what you see, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an upload. Agenda of the session is to deal with the ANSA mid-mesh, that is for casted components or plastic components. So in this process we are going to deal with the feature manager, recognize the holes and fillets again. So we're gonna use the inspect tool and the mid-mesh tool to just mesh it automatically, and then we are going to use some of the advanced tools inside the inspect tool, that is imprint, middle, and some of the mount treatment activities, that is O junction. Yeah. Similarly, we're going to explore align, paste, advanced options, and direct editing tools. Yep. So these are all the things we're going to see in this session. Well, let's get started with this. Yep. So we'll start with the mid-mesh. This will be helpful for the casting components and the plastic components, as well as sometimes even for the sheet metal components too. I'll be opening the model, so which is in the CATIA format, and this is a kind of gearbox casing. So this is just for educational purpose, and the content is only to learn how exactly we need to do the mid surface meshing, okay, for the casting air plastic components. So right now I have loaded the model. You could see the file open is completed, but still I couldn't see anything. So because you have turned off the CAD, that is the faces. If you just click on this, you can able to see all the faces, right? And now you could see the resolution is not that good enough. So for that, what you can do is you can just go to the settings, and from the general settings, you can just search for the resolution. It will be like this initially. Go to settings and then resolution, set it to 1 or 2. I'd like to keep it 1, and now you could here see the preview. I'll apply the resolution, click OK, and I could see. If you want to see it again, so press Ctrl+Z, and this is how it was before, and now Ctrl+Y, this is how it has. Okay, in short, it will add the number of nodes here, and then it will try to capture all the regions properly. Yep. And now how do we start with meshing? The important thing is to deal with these all the features. What we can do here is to define the thick areas, so that the mount regions and the hole regions will be properly captured as the solids. So for that, you can go with this one, the mark area. Just define the thickness. I'd like to take it as 4.5, and the PID you can just take it up as 2. Since this is the new PID, it will be created for that. And then if you just click OK, ANSA tool will try to search for the thick areas until the limit of 4.5, and then it will assign the separate PIDs for that. If you're going to work on the automotive components tool, sometimes it will recognize the thicker regions properly, but here you could see it did the reverse. So it has selected everything with 4.5. If you want to just measure, you could see from here to here it is 6. But it is kind of not that good enough. So what I will do is I'll just activate the PID this time. So here I'll assign everything as a PID 1, and now I would like to manually assign this PID for the regions. Okay, it will take some time. I'll do it couple of minutes. Yeah, this is fine at the moment. So remaining, I'll just keep it as it is so that ANSA tool can mesh it, and let's see how it is going to do it. Yeah, just middle click, and these are the regions. Let's split PID. Okay. And now let's directly jump into the features recognition. So you can just go to the features and recognize special parameters is not needed, fillets are needed, chamfer needed, stamps is needed. Okay, let's just recognize these all and simply click OK. So why we are doing it is here is, let's say if you're going to mesh the model with a minimal mesh size, that time you can just check for the fillets. So these are the fillets which has 0.5 to 1 mm fillet radius. So if you're going to mesh it with a 5 mm or 4 mm mesh, so these are simply will create the issues. So for that you can simply sharpen them. Yeah, so this is how it works, and then you can deal with the logos and stamps and 3D holes. So if needed, you can even suppress them, or you can even apply the mesh. You can just edit the features properly like that. Yeah, you could see these all got changed. This is fine for us. And then we have the stamps. So these are the regions we have it, and the logos. So unfortunately it has selected these as logos, no issues. And the holes, so these many are the holes here. So yeah, so these holes, let it be like this. I'm not going to consider them. So if you want to apply the treatments, you can just go ahead with the mesh treatment, and you can go ahead with the NIF, and then you can apply the number of nodes to. So tool will try to apply this treatment. Okay, so once you recognize these all things, so the next step is to deal with the mid surface. So if you don't find it here, you can just go to the mesh, and the mid mesh is activated. And then here we have recognized the mark thick, and we have the two PIDs, one thick areas and the second PID. Yep. Then we'll directly switch to the middle. Right now, if you want to deal with the old method, we have the old skin method also. You can extract the skin from that. Now I would like to deal with the casting. So here the minimum thickness it will ask. So I like to define it as 1. Target length would be 3. And yeah, remaining everything is fine. And here the thick area plays very important role. If you activate this, here you will have the chance to define the PID and the solids, so which we are going to define it as solids. So automatically it will try to create the solid mesh, dry mesh, so that you can even volumize them and create the mounts, solid mounts. And here you can see the rib transition and the base transition. We have the steep, and one more is the smooth. So if you select the smooth, it will create the a chamfer kind of structure. If you take the steep, it will create the straight steep structures. So right now I would like to keep the steep, and here we have the triand, although for the solid mesh, and for the shell we have the mixed quad everything. So right now I would like to keep it mixed. Target length I would like to take again 3 mm as a shell. Yeah, I think this is fine, so we'll just simply click on OK. Let's see what tool does. Yep, you could see tool has produced the mid mesh, and let's see how it is going to help us. So I'll simply turn off the CAD. You could see how smooth and how properly it has recognized the mounts. Could see, right? Some regions it might create the issues. You can manually edit them. You can see everything is fine inside. Well, so now let's deal with the mesh now. Okay, how do we start improvising this. Okay, to do that, you can do one thing. You can directly activate this inspect tool, and even you have the O junctions. If your mounts are missing, it will try to recognize sometimes. It fails. Okay. Yeah. Now I'll just select whole body. If it's just middle click, it will try to show you the regions. Okay. The first one is the blue, which shows the empty areas. Yellow is for constraint. The purple is for middle, incompatible nodal thickness, and the empty perimeters. Okay. So now, just to avoid the confusion, I can just turn it off so that we can just start working on this one. So how do we edit this? So ANSA 25 and 24 versions has some advanced direct editing tools. So that here, direct edit geometry and mesh, if you just select them, you have a lot of options to edit this. Let's say in this region, if we activate the CAD, there are two parameters which has been passed, and tool fails to create it properly. To work on it, what we can do is, but right now, as we have the multiple like the parameters here, it is failing. So what I'll do is I'll try to remove them. So like this. Okay. So now here again we have a couple of more. Let's try now. So you could see the bottom one, it is not that good. So I'll just simply right click and select the imprint and select the bottom edge and finish. You could see properly it has aligned. I'll do the same for the top one. Imprint this one. Okay. And now there are some trials inside. So what we can do is we can directly eliminate them and remove them. Yeah. Let me just show you the same. You can directly go ahead with the edit mesh. So here you can directly switch automatically by using the keyboard shortcut Q. Now it is in the element editing mode. So I don't want this trial. I can simply drag and drop it here so that it will be completely removed from the model. Yes, so now there are multiple trials here if you don't even want them. So you can simply drag and drop it outside so that they can be removed like this. Okay. So here you can just try to take it here and just bring it somewhere here, and then you can just remove them. Yeah, so like this you can play with the trials. So here I would like to keep the minimal trials. This is fine. Similarly, you can do the same thing at multiple regions. Okay, so I'll be taking all these edges, so I'll fix it. So here you could see the perimeters, you can manually fix it. I just fast forwarded it at the moment. Okay, so I need 2 perimeters only. You can delete everything and you just maintain the 2 perimeters on this particular perimeter regions so that I can capture the CAD perimeters properly. So this I'm just doing it by using the advanced direct edit tool, that is edit geometry. Here you can just select the perimeters, and by just selecting them you can delete them, and you can even remove the hot points. So this is what I'm doing it here. You can have a look into it. Once you're done with this, next step is you just need to use the imprint tool. Right click and just select it and just select all the CAD parameters, and similarly you can do the same for bottom edges. Yeah, you just select all the FE parameters and just right click and just select the constraint and define imprint, and select all the lower CAD parameters so that will be imprinted to this particular CAD parameters. Here it should be a straight one. So as we had the kind of a slot mount region, so it is missing now. So what do we do with this? So to deal with this region, so you can just activate the again geometry, press Q, and then this is, you can just select this edge and drag and drop to the adjacent edge, which is completely flat, and tool will help you to maintain the same. So you can even directly remove these points. And now again I'll switch to the editing, and then I'll remove the trio from here. I like to just move it up to the corner like this. So this is fine. We can do the same here as well. Yeah, I can switch to Q and to this. Yeah, likewise you can do it for other edges too. Yeah, so next thing is to deal with some of the options here. This is somewhat apples. I'll drag and drop it here so it can be flattened. Same thing for this one. Okay, so you can do the same for this region too. I would like to capture the adjacent region. Yeah, so this is fine. And now here, so as this is a side one, so the best way is to move it to the adjacent here itself. There is one more. So these I think we can just combine. Let me try to bring this one this side. Sorry. Like this. Yeah, so you can move it here. It's gone. This is fine. And now here I would like to maintain some of the four-sided mesh. You can simply right click and you can select the four-side mesh, and here you could see we have the number of rows 3. If you can change, you can do it by using the increasing and decreasing the node numbers. By pressing 2 it will increase. You could see at the both the regions it does the same. If you want to decrease, you press 1. So I'd like to maintain 4, and this is how it looks like. Similarly, I'll do the same for this. 4, finish, and here also I'll do the same. So at this moment I would like to remove this one, and then there's one extra node. I would like to just move it. I'll just switch, remove this. Now this is fine. Here I'll just switch back to the editing mode, four-sided mesh. So here one more row extra, and finish it up. Yep, you can just finish it like this with respect to the if you have some of the mount regions. So you can, if you want to maintain a proper quad rows, so this is how it works here. Okay, and yeah, so So you could see at this region it has some feature, so which is quite difficult to capture. So what we can do is either we can convert this to this flat to this flat. You can simply select this region and drag and drop it on this so that it will become exactly matching to this particular area. Similarly, I'll do the same for this. Yeah, here also I'll do the same. Okay, now to correct this region, you could see there are some of the regions it is not that good enough, means mesh is kindly distorted. So how do I fix it? There are multiple ways. One, you can use ANSA Inspect inside Advanced, that is align constraint middle. That also we can try. Or else we have the traditional tool, that is align. So by just selecting the grids and just defining the plane or a face, so you can able to align the grids exactly to the flat surface. Okay, let's do the same. We can just select the align tool and just define these grids. Yeah, and you can just click on next and just define 3 points so that it can take a planar section like this, and it is aligned here, right? And here it is slightly different, so I'll do the same. I would like to select these grids, not everything. I'll just select these, and this is a plane. Now this is fine. And here it is slightly inclined. I'll just align it with these 3 selection plane. Yep. And here it is a transition zone. So I think this is fine at the moment. And here when edge is coming out, I'll simply paste it by using the edit elements. Fine. So again it went in. You can just again use the grid align. These points. Yeah. Next. This is fine as of now. Okay, next important thing is you could see these are the 3 regions where I need to manually work on and fix that regions, because that regions there are some curvatures and the sharp corners and some of the radius of curvature needs to be captured. For that I'll be using some advanced tool to fix them by that change constraint middle and other things. Let's do that. Okay. Okay, so here in this region you could see it's slightly inclined, so I would like to make it straight, so I'll just remove these all the perimeters, and you could see it should be flat, and here it is slightly tilted. To correct this, the best way is you can use the align constraint. This time change constraint to middle, just select this face as a red selection, this is a second group, and then it's fixed, right? It's perfectly flat. And here again, just see this is fine, and I'll just remove this one. It looks fine. So if you want, you can just again align it, but as of now that is fine. So here I would like to again do the same. I would like to delete these all the perimeters, and yeah, these 2 and this one too. Now I'll just simply join this. I would like to just align it, but before that I will just delete these parameters to remove it by joining it. Okay, now you could see it is slightly tilted, so again I'll use the change constraint to middle. this face, next group is this face, and then now this is fine, completely flat, right? And this slight deviation is fine, but if you want to still avoid it, you can just drag and drop the area. This is fixed, and this is the next area, next corner, the third one. I'll do the same again, so I'll just remove all these perimeters, and then here in this case I'll just remove these all the hot points. Okay, and now here I'll do the same again. You can use the change constraint to middle. Before that, I'll just remove this and right click, change constraint, middle, select this face, next, and this face, middle click, accept, and this is how it is. Okay, so here you could see this is not that smooth. You can simply drag and drop the areas to adapt to the reference surface. So you could see this is how it is. Now I'll just remove these parameters. If I did that, and then this is what happened. Again, you can just drag and drop the area here to fix it. I'll take this neighbor, drag and drop it here. Oops, created the issue, Control Z. I'll just do this one reverse way. Yeah, this is fixed. I'll remove this parameter here. Here also I can simply drag and drop it, the area here. Again, this region also the same thing. I'll just remove this parameter. This is fine. I'll simply take the neighbor area instead of here and drag and drop it like this. This is fine, correct? And there is a slight deviation. This is fine for me, no issues. Okay, next thing I would like to deal with the mounts. Let's start with this. You could see the mounts are completely distorted. We can simply delete them and start. Let's do that. I would rather delete this and create NIF. So for that, what best we can do is can just select these all. Okay, like this. So delete this. Okay. Then here also we don't want this. We can activate entity mode and delete unnecessarily, which are creating the issues like this. Still we have these. So this is how it works, means we need to do a lot of manual work to create the shell mesh. Okay, this region we can directly fill, so there's no issues here. This is done. To fix this, you can activate the CAD and then you can just mesh this region. Okay, only this one. Let's do that directly. Again, generate mesh, this, and these. Just mesh it and then release the CAD and then you can hide it, and this is what we have it now. The best thing is you delete the whole region of this. It also has some of the free edges. And now the best way is you can use the extrude tool. You can just select this one and direction you can select up to the source. -50 I had defined, it was by default which I had taken. It's extending outside, no issues, fine for me. This is done. Okay, and now the mesh is quite different, so I would like to improvise the mesh on this. Okay, average mesh would like to apply. Okay, what is the mesh size here? This is 2. Mesh settings, it's average 3, and then you do a reconstruct on this whole body. I'll click. Now this looks fine, correct? And then you use the intersect faces fine. Just middle click, keep. Okay, it is doing reconstruct. I would rather not do the reconstruct here. I would like to remove the hot points. Okay, this is how we can just fix this regions likewise. So if you still would like to align them properly, you can do it. This is perfectly fine at the moment. Yeah. Okay, now we'll try to fix these mounts. So what I'll do is I'll try to use some ANSA tools to fix them. Okay, so this is the mount. I would like to first align them properly, so I can use advanced tools. So right now I'm just fast forwarding this one, so everyone knows this align tool now, right, as of now. So I'll just select these grids and just define 2 straight points so that it will be properly aligned. Okay, so these mounts which I have created, and after doing reconstruct, the mesh will collapse. So this is the big issue. So to tackle that, I'm using this manual align tool. Okay, very important. So I could see this region, and here too I'll do the same. Fine. So at this region I'll do the same again. Okay, this is how. Here I'll just simply drag and drop the nodes, paste it in chart. Okay, yeah, so this is how I have fixed. And now focus on the next one. So this is automatically created by model. So here I need to recreate it. So this is completely distorted. I can delete this one completely. And then these regions too, some of the elements which will create the issues while joining. So you can delete them, and then you can use the CAD and then just generate the mesh only for the top region. So by using the release mesh, you can release it. Now this is released. I would like to release the grids. So you know how to release them. Just select the grids and release them. Again, join it by using the direct tool. And now I would like to extrude this. Okay, you can use the extrude tool, and then this is how it has extruded. Fine. Now you just adjust all the neighboring reps properly, and then you start joining it by using the intersect tool, and then fix them by using the align tool later on. So once you intersect, and you know, right, elements will be distorted and you need to mesh it properly. So let's see, this is how I'm doing it here. So you can able to see now. So I'm going to keep the regions what and all I want and delete the regions now itself. Okay, so while just dealing with all the features, you can do it. So this is one of the advanced feature. So you can just observe the regions and you can keep them. Yeah, so this is how we can just do it. So once you're done with this, you just reconstruct it, and finally you want to get this right. I'll smoothen it, and then I'll again use the same tool, that is align, so that I can have a proper mounting regions. So very important for the analysis purpose. Okay, so these are all the manually created mounts, right? So this is how you just create it and use the intersect tool and then align them and fix them. Now after this, we're gonna just look at how exactly we can deal with the mounts which has been automatically created by using the middle automated option, and then fix it. Okay, you can just observe it. Let's see the automatically created the mounts now. This mount is fine. You could see sometimes this is here, it has created the issue. In this cases you need to manually edit them. So let's say I would like to delete these rows elements, okay, and then I think even these two. Now I would like to fill it. So here switch to editing mode and then join these two. This is fine. And here you could fill this. I would like to go ahead with the fill, closed, done. So here I can just create one more edge. So just split this, can activate again this, like this, middle click, and then you can simply join this here. And as I need one more, I'll do the same. Yeah, so likewise you can do it here. And here it tries to maintain the straight one, so I can just neglect that. Yeah, you could see at the bottom it has created some issues. So how do we fix it? Properly observe what exactly it is doing. So at this region it has created the issue. So to fix it, I would like to remove this region, so which is extending outside, so which is not needed. It's all depends upon the requirement and the manager, how he wants, or the analysis type, how it needs to be. Okay, for what reason you're meshing. So yeah, simply fill it. Let us try. Yeah, so this is fine. And at this, it is failing. So just delete this region and try to create a proper closed region at this point. I would like to delete these two. Yeah, so now let us fill them. So as geometry is activated, so let us try to bring and patch it up for this. So this is okay. Here also we have a slight curvature. I would like to bring it for this. This is also fine. And here I'd like to align it. So you can activate align. Just select these, middle click, and from here to here. Okay, this is fine. There should be straight one. So for that, I would rather switch to the direct edit mode. I'll just join these two. Yeah, so here also what best we could do is try to map this one for this. Yeah, so here also I'll do the same thing this side. Okay, this region is perfectly fine. So here it has created some issues. Okay, so if it is creating issue, better rather not to make the issues at this region. So let me try to create the same this side. No, so I think I need to drag this one this side. Yeah, this is perfect. No issues here. Yeah, this is fine here. And this one I would like to go ahead with the imprint. These two, click OK. This is done. this one and this one, and this one I'd like to remove. This side it didn't join properly. I would rather delete these. Then try to fill it. This is done. Okay, now we need to fill the bottom region too. Let us go one by one. So I'd like to go ahead with the entity mode. So these two first, and then these two. Escape. Before, I'd like to connect these. Now let us just project this at the bottom, so you can use the project edges, these, on what, not the face, shell. Just select this region, then middle click, and now you can fill this. I would rather go ahead with this first. Similarly here. Before that, I think this would be great to join these two, and then you can start filling this region first, and then you can fill this complete region now. Yep, so okay, so this is fine at the moment. So here I think you can bring back your rib and just check how it is dealing here. Rib is going inside, so let me just delete the rib, and then this should be straight. You can do it. You can activate the align tool for this. So these rows up to here should follow this one. Yep, this is fine. And then you can even improvise this mesh. At the moment, okay, let us drag and drop it on. Yeah, now fill this. Yep, there's no issues here. This is perfectly fine. Okay, this is because these two are joining here. And how do we make it straight? So at this point of view, disconnecting here both the regions, so it will be like this. Let us try. Yeah, this became straight, but here it is meshy. But I hope this is fine at the moment, because at this region the structure is fine. Yeah, so this is all about fixing the mounts, whether it is manual or automatically created. So these are all the steps you need to follow. Now once you're done with everything, you could see we have fixed all the mounts and all the perimeters and some of the regions with mid mesh, and some of the regions we have neglected, which is not at all needed for us as per the requirement. And now finally what you need to do is you need to assign the thickness to the PIDs for this entire mesh considering the CAD. So how do we do that? By just measuring the thickness of the CAD and then just selecting the ribs and the shell regions, mount regions, and define the thickness. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do in the session now. Okay, let's just do that. Now I'll just activate the CAD and you could see this is the CAD. I'll just use the measure tool and I'll measure the distance from here to here. It is exactly around 6, right? Fine. And for the ribs also you can measure the thickness. So here it is 1.8 for the ribs, and for these ribs let's measure it. It should be, oh, it's 2 mm. Yeah, so we got to know the rib thickness. Now what I'll do is I'll just assign thickness for the ribs. Okay, let's do that. Just go to the properties and just create a property. You can create a new one or else you can copy the earlier one. So this is the complete body. Now I'll try to create a new P shell. Okay, you can just define the thickness. So I'd like to take it 2 mm and then you just rename it ribs. Okay, I'll just rename it as like this. I'll just make it capital. Yeah, so just create this PID, click OK, and simply right click on it and apply, and now you just select the regions. Okay, so these are all the PIDs, means the regions which has a thickness of 2 mm. So I'm just fast forwarding, and then once you switch to the PID mode, you could see the PID has been assigned. And I'll do the same for this. You can just measure the thickness. Here it is 1.6 to 1.8. We had measured it, right? Here it should be again 2. This is fine. Let's assign the same. So again, this time I'll copy this one. Okay, I'll just rename it to 2, and thickness can assign 1.6, and then simply right click on this, and you could see the color codings also, right? So depending upon the PID, the colors will change. So here I'll activate the angle and I'll select all these ribs. So once you do that, you could see this is the preview. I'm just doing it by fast forwarding because it will take a lot of time to show you everything live. Yeah. Now I'll do the same for this. So for this it is 0.5 thickness. So I'll just select all these ribs and apply. Okay. So once you do that, we can see all the properties has been assigned to the ribs at the moment. Now we have some of the mounts remaining and the complete casing body is remaining. So to see the thickness, what you can do is you can activate the shell to solid representation and check the thickness distribution. So here you can measure the thickness at a 6 mm. So we had seen it earlier as well, right? So I'll just switch to the property, and here it is T1. It's only one thickness, so I'll just change it to 6. Now if you do that, it will be changed, and if you want you can see the preview as well. So you can just switch here to draw cell as sorted, and you could see all this region is properly captured. And here we have some issues with the mount. As I told, we have created it manually, right? So it will take the by default PID. So what best we can do is we can just change it to the shell thickness. Anyway, these are the mounts, right? So we can assign it as minimum thickness, and anyway it won't be considered as a shell. So we have the mounts, right? So we're going to define the solid properties for that. So what I'll do is I'll just select the mount PID and I'll just assign it to this, and I'll just fast forward it for our sake. Yeah. Once we are done with this, this is how it looks like, and some regions it will be having different PIDs assigned, and you can manually select that regions and assign required PID. So which is body here at the moment. Could see I'm just doing the same thing. Yeah, this is how we assign the thickness to the ribs, and this is how finally it looks like. So once you do that, we need to assign the material now, the next step, right? Very important. So you can just go to this one. So right now I would like to assign the aluminum. So you just need to define it. So I would like to take this one as a reference. I'll just apply, and then I'll just select all the properties here and middle click, and aluminum is applied for all this, and I would like to delete these all the undefined material. Okay, aluminum is defined. You can see defined is checked there. Yeah, so this is how we assign the material as well as the properties for the model. Okay, and I hope you got to know, right? So you can even check the thickness wherever it is varying. Some regions it might change, so that region you can manually select and change the PID there with the required thickness. Okay, this is how we manually do it. So in this case, this looks fine. Okay, well, so that's all about the session. Finally, to summarize, we had gone through the mid mesh, we had used the middle tool to mesh entire casting model, and then we had used some of the advanced inspect tools, that is imprint and middle, and then we had used the mount treatments, some of the advanced features in align and paste and direct editing tools. Yep, that's all about this session. We heartily thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. Follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram for behind the scenes content and the updates. Stay curious, stay awesome, and see you again in the next video.